to know that they're not going through this alone. It's so
Absolutely.
hard to feel like you're the only one going through this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. And that's part of the intention of doing this is to because we're all reflections of each other. So when a woman hears your story, she'll be able to relate, get inspiration, and then also walk away with some tools to help assist her in her healing. So it's about the collective. So I thank you for playing your part in the tribe. Okay. We are officially live now. Hello, everyone. This is MystyMoon, and this is another session of Hot Seat Coaching. And today we are going to be holding space for Tamika. Tamika is currently in the process of healing her fibroids, and we're going to be discussing ways to love her womb back to health. And that's really the key when it comes to any healing, whether you're trying to lose weight, whether you're trying to get rid of addiction, whether you're trying to eradicate all toxic relationships out of your life, whatever kind of balance that you're trying to strive to, it is so important that you love yourself through that process. That's really the only way that you can accomplish that goal. So Tamika, again, thank you for sharing your story and allowing us to hold space for you today. Before we, why don't we start off by you just sharing like your process of getting diagnosed with fibroids and where and what's your current state right now in regards to your womb and fibroids?
Okay, well, my cycle started to be heavy, and
Mm-hmm.
I handled it for a long time, and then it got too heavy to handle, and so I went to the doctor. I was like, my cycle is heavy, but everybody in my family says they have a heavy cycle, so I just suspected that it was normal.
Now, when you say heavy, what are you talking about? Like how many days, how many sanitary napkins do you have to go through each day?
I mean, I need to change like every hour, hour and a half to make sure I'm safe and I'm not leaking through.
Yeah. Wow.
And so when it got to that point, and I feel uncomfortable sitting down. If I'm someplace I want to stand up because I just feel like I could leak if I sit.
Mm-hmm.
That's how heavy
Mm-hmm.
it was. And so after I was diagnosed, my doctor told me that my uterus was 5 times the normal size. And so I'm in West Virginia. All they want to do is give you a hysterectomy. They don't want to give you any alternative methods. They don't want to help you. And I actually had to stop going to one gynecologist because I was angry at the man. I really wanted to fight him because he actually told me that for me to remove the fibroids or to remove your uterus, it's the same thing. Sir, I didn't come here for you to tell me how easy or hard it is for you to give me a procedure. I came here for you to discuss what the best option for me was
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
not for you to tell me that taking my fibroids or taking my uterus is the same thing
Yeah.
because it's not the same to me.
Unbelievable.
And I couldn't believe it. I was devastated. And so I never went back to him. So it took me a while. And so I went back to a different doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And this doctor said, well, these are your options. He gave me 5 options. In my mind, they were so ludicrous that I don't even remember them, but hysterectomy was definitely in it.
Mm-hmm.
I actually just turned 40. I'm not ready for a hysterectomy. I'm not ready for everything that comes with that. I'm not ready for hormone therapy. I'm not ready for any of that. I'm not ready to sit down for 6 weeks and not work and not see my children and my grandchild or any of that. I'm not ready for that. And so hysterectomy was totally out of the question. But for me, my fibroids, my cycle is extremely heavy, but it's 3 days. And I
Okay.
do have like a light day and probably
Okay.
2 heavy days.
Okay.
But I don't bleed in between and I have no pain.
Okay. Okay.
And so that's another thing where I feel like I want to try everything I can holistically before I do anything medically because I'm suffering, but it's just I've heard way worse stories than mine. So I don't feel like I'm to that point quite yet to where I'm desperate enough to go under the knife. Because for me, that means complete desperation in
Yeah.
my mind for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mhm. Now, once again, Tamika, when were you diagnosed?
I was diagnosed a year ago.
A year ago. Okay. Now you shared what you shared how heavy the flow was, but at first, how many days was the flow?
It's always been 3.
It's always been 3. Okay. Okay. But within that year, there's been a shift, a slight shift with the amount of flow within those 3 days.
It's just super heavy some days.
Okay. Okay. All right.
But it's still a 3-day, ordeal, but it's just super heavy.
Okay. All right. What is it called? Shepherd's purse. Okay. And you said no excruciating pains right now? No cramps? Okay, but you
No,
were getting them at first, like a year ago, or you've never really had that problem?
I've never really had it.
Okay.
When
Okay.
I was younger, I experienced it, but it was, it was just the way it was. It wasn't because of fibroids or anything like that.
Okay. So currently, Tamika, right now, what types of holistic natural practices are you doing?
Right now, I am using yoni pearls.
Mhm.
I eat vegan. Right now, I'm actually in the bed because I'm on day 4 of a 7-day water fast, water only,
Okay.
and so I don't have that much energy. So that's why I'm meeting you from the comfort of my bed.
Mhm.
And so I'm doing that. I use a lot of minerals and herbs and teas and supplements and a lot of different combinations to detox and
Mhm.
to add iron,
Okay,
like
great. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
burdock and the sarsaparilla and things like that.
Okay. All right. Day 4, congratulations. Water fast. Oof. Have you done a fast before?
Not water, not more than 24 hours of water, not more than
Okay.
4 hours.
Okay. All right. And then Tamika, do you juice at all?
I don't. I do fruit and vegetable smoothies with different herbs, but I don't juice. I need,
Okay.
that's a goal. That's on my
Yeah.
to do.
Okay. Is the goal just being able to purchase an actual juicer?
No, I really like where I live is really small, and so I don't really have space for a juicer. I have like 2 blenders, and I'm like, whoo, wow, this is working, but I really need a juicer. It's
Okay.
just I just don't have the space
The
for
space for it.
anything right now.
Okay. All right. Well, in the meantime, so okay, let me ask you this. With your smoothies, what do you put in there? Or do you add any type of dark green leafy vegetables in your smoothies?
I was doing kale until I saw where they say that it's estrogenic and it contributes to the overproduction of estrogen.
Okay. Right.
I saw that in
That
a
before.
natural healing, and I was like, wow. And
Hmm.
so I had been using kale up until that point.
Okay.
And so now I primarily use like the powders,
Okay. Like the
like
spirulina.
yes, and
Mhm.
I like hemp seeds, hemp powder, stuff like that. I use green powders. I don't use a lot of vegetables.
Okay. All right. Okay. So it sounds like you got yourself a really good regimen going already. And so here we are with this coaching session. The focus is how to love your womb while you're healing your womb, because again, it sounds like you already got a good regimen going with the plant-based, with the herbs. You're doing the detoxes right now. You're using yoni steam. There are a couple other self-care practices that I want to suggest to you. And by the way, at the end of the session, I'm going to email everything to you, so you don't have to remember everything that we're talking about. One of the things that I wanted to ask if you've ever done before are called inversions. Are you familiar with inversions? So
No.
inversion is something that you do when you're not on your cycle. And so there's 2 ways that you can do it. You can either lay on your bed, which is the most comfortable way to do it. And you put about 3 pillows underneath your legs. So they're at a 45-degree angle. And what that does, it allows the blood to flow from your legs into your womb. So it's another way to help revitalize your womb and to detox it as well. And if you want a deeper inversion, you lay on the floor and put your butt against the wall and put your legs up against the wall. So you're at a 90-degree angle. And that gives you even more blood flow. And it's recommended that you do it 15 times or 15 minutes twice a day. So if you use a pillow, you can do it right before you go to bed and you just fall right asleep, or first thing when you wake up, like set your alarm 15 minutes before you normally get up and just lay in bed, while you're doing the inversions. And not only does the inversions help with the womb, but it helps to calm the nervous system as well. If you have a hard time sleeping, it helps you sleep. And it's another just great way just to connect with your womb. Like you can just do a little womb meditation, send your womb some love. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this or not, but if you take your hands and make it into a pyramid and invert it and put your thumbs underneath your navel, your right hand is on your right ovary, your left hand is on your left ovary, and your uterus is in the middle. So that gives you an opportunity to have a direct physical connection to your womb while you're doing the inversion.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I've never heard of that. That's exciting. Something that's so easy to, work in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's free. You don't have to pay any money for it. So inversions, I'm going to send you the information about that. And then womb journaling. Have you experimented with that yet?
No, I've never even heard of the term.
Okay, so womb journaling. This is the most ideal way that you can love your womb while it's healing. So womb journal is this. It's you get a piece of paper, journal, whatever, and you allow this as a platform for you to start having a dialogue with your womb. So kind of diverting a little bit, in Chinese medicine, which is one of the oldest, medicine practices, they believe that each organ has its own energy. Like you can even like measure, the vibration of each energy. So with that said, that even applies to the uterus. It's alive. It has its own psychology. Even in Chinese medicine, each organ has its own emotion attached to it. So like the liver, for an example, is anger. So if a person find themselves really angry all the time, oftentimes it means that there is an imbalance with their liver. So with that said, even the uterus has its own consciousness. So you're allowing your uterus to have a dialogue with you, because part of what causes fibroids is having stagnant emotions, unsaid things that's stuck in your uterus, whether it's from toxic relationships, if you were, something traumatic happened to you in the past. So this womb journal allows you to have a dialogue, and it gives you an opportunity to emote and release all those negative thoughts and negative emotions that are stored in your womb. So one way to go about it is treat it like a script. So you can start off by saying, okay, Tamika, hello, how are you? Then my womb. See what comes up. She may say hi, she may start talking immediately. And the thing about this is that you have to allow the practical mind to get out the way and the ego to get out the way and let spirit talk through you. It's kind of like doing free association with writing, or free writing, I think is what they call it. And you never know what's going to come up. You can ask, well, how are you? And then see what she says. And oftentimes at first they may not be a dialogue because it's new. I mean, it's like you're getting to know a different part of yourself. So, but with time, like if you just sit down, do your meditations, do your prayers, whatever you do to center yourself, and then just go into that space and see what comes up. And you'll be amazed of what you learn about yourself through allowing her to have a voice.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. Okay. Does that resonate with you?
Yeah, I'm really excited to try that. That's exciting.
Okay. Yeah, womb journaling. And what I'll do also, Tamika, is in the email, I'm going to send you a couple suggested questions, just to help you get some inspiration of how to start that dialogue with her. Okay. Yeah. So we got inversions. Let's see. Oh my God, we got 4 minutes. Can you believe that? All right. So,
wow.
I know it goes by really fast. So womb journal, we got inversions. And then the two other things I wanted to suggest to you, are you familiar with an herb called shepherd's purse?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it or purchased it.
Okay, it's not the best tasting herb, but this particular herb helps with excessive bleeding. So it's not addressing the root of the problem, but it's to help to stabilize the blood flow. And so it's recommended that you drink this for about 21 days before you start seeing results. For me, Tamika, At one point, I was bleeding heavily for 14 days. 14 days. I mean, it was at the point where like my nails were getting brittle because I was iron deficient.
Mm-hmm.
And so the lady that I studied with, Queen Afua, who's a master holistic health practitioner, she recommended for me to start drinking shepherd's purse. I did it for 21 days, and it immediately, after about the 21-day time frame, I noticed that my cycle following that wasn't as heavy. So again, it's just something to use to help stabilize the blood flow. Okay. So the shepherd's purse. And then the last thing, another really sweet way you can love up your womb is using essential oils. Are you integrating that at all so far?
I usually just bathe in them with the Epsom salt and baking soda because I find that gives me energy. Like, you know how having low iron like takes my energy away and gives you low energy. So I feel like it gives me energy. It helps to
Okay.
like stimulate me in some type of way where I can like I feel more energized, more.
Okay, perfect. Well, then you already have essential oils on you. So then what I want to suggest to you is while you're laying in the inversion, take that time out to mix a little essential oil with one of your favorite oils or lotions and give yourself a womb massage. And how that works is you start off around the belly button, and you work in a clockwise spiral and come all the way out, just taking your time, going as deep as you can. And when you get to the outer part of your belly, then you come back in counterclockwise, back into the center or to around your navel. And just do that while you're laying in the inversion. And that's another really sweet, gentle way that you could love up your womb. Okay. How's that sound?
Sounds great. I now have, a bunch of different things that I can employ to help me, get over this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like I'm on the right track, but everything helps. You want to just incorporate everything, and it's kind of hard sometimes to love your womb when it's causing you so much distress.
Yeah. 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 But we got to perceive it as, we have to perceive it that our wombs are crying out for help. That's what's happening. I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. And that's why the womb journal is so important, because you want to find out what's upsetting her. What from the past upset her? She didn't have a voice. So if the more that you give her a voice and start perceiving your womb as an entity within you that's wounded, then you can have more compassion. And then when you feel those uncomfortableness, when you're bleeding heavily, then you can come from a place of compassion than from frustration. Because when we're frustrated, that's kind of perpetuating the energy within our bodies. You know what I mean? So yeah, Tamika. So these are 3 tools just to help shift your perspective and to go deeper within healing your fibroids. So yeah, I hope that you're able to start implementing these right away.
Thank you. I definitely am. As soon as I finish my fast, probably
Yes.
I might be able to remember.
But you don't
But
have
I
to.
might not.
You don't have to remember anything, because I'm going to send you an email with all the information.
I know I might be able to remember to open the email.
Oh God. How about this? How about I make a note for myself that in 7 days I'll reach out to you to remind you about.
Yeah, I've had a lot of brain fog. Like this is day 4, and like sometimes my brain is with me, and a couple of times I've seen that it wasn't. So.
Well, you know what? Give thanks. I completely have compassion. I'm holding space for you. And I thank you for I had no idea that you were doing a cleanse, Tamika. So thank you for just taking time out to do this on day 4 of the cleanse.
Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. And like I said, I'm going to make a note to myself. I'm going to reach out to you in 7 days to make sure that you got that information. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you again. And so any sister out there, I know some sister that's watching this has fibroids, because 50% of us have fibroids. So 50% of women have fibroids. And it's astounding the amount of us are suffering from this. So I hope that you were able to walk away with some tools to help love your womb while you're healing your fibroids. And for any of you who are not a part of my group, speaking of fibroids, I do have a private group. It's called F Fibroids, Fuck Fibroids. And in this group, I'm offering self-care practices. I'm sharing my journey as I'm healing my fibroids naturally. There are other women in the group that are also going through the same thing. So if you feel like you need some more support, hit me up in the inbox or just go straight to FUCK Fibroids, and we'll be there waiting to hold space for you as well. Okay? So thank you for watching. Tamika, thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your cleanse. Okay? All right, everybody, and take care. All right, love and light. Peace. All right.